One of the biggest questions about the future of the MCU is how can they outdo the past 11 years? How can you outdo Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, the Hulk? And how can you outdo a villain so big and bad as Thanos? Marvel took their time over the years and they developed many different characters along the way, and they developed Thanos at the same time to all come together in two giant movies. Two movies that are considered by many to be not only the greatest Marvel films of all time, but some of the greatest films of all time in general. So where does the MCU go from here? Many new movies and characters have been introduced for Phase 4 and Phase 5 already, and a lot of characters are rumored to be coming to the MCU in those phases as well. But one thing we haven't really heard about yet is who is going to be the next big bad villain of the future phases. What possible villain could outdo Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet? Well, it seems like we may finally have our answer thanks to an amazing leak about the future of the MCU. This leak comes from the one and only Mikey Sutton. Mikey has been responsible for many great leaks in the past that have come true, so he has an amazing track record. If you're unfamiliar with who Mikey is, he's the one that originally dropped the bomb that Spider-Man would be entering the MCU in Captain America Civil War, which of course we all know happened. So today's news about the MCU's future big bad villain comes from Mikey Sutton. And Mikey says that we're actually not going to get one big bad villain, we're going to get two. And if I ask you the question, which two big bad villains would you actually like to see in the MCU if you had a choice? Well, these two villains are probably who you would mention. And they are none other than Victor Von Doom or Doctor Doom and Galactus. Now, these are two characters that Fox owned and now Marvel owns thanks to the Disney Fox deal. So for a very long time, they could not be used in the MCU. But when word about the Disney Fox deal got out, we knew it was only a matter of time until they made their way into the MCU. Doom and Galactus are right up there with Thanos as far as master villains of the Marvel Universe. And according to Mikey Sutton, we are in for a major treat with Galactus and Doctor Doom in the future of the MCU. So let's go ahead and read the exact report and then we'll break it all down after. Quick reminder that my 500,000 subscriber giveaway will be this afternoon, so be sure to be on the lookout, and if you'd like a chance to win a Nintendo Switch, be sure to subscribe to my channel and click the link in the description down below. So, the report says there will not be a next big bad in the MCU, instead there will be big bads. Two of them, according to my sources. The MCU is planning on having two major villains as part of its new endgame. In the next couple of phases, all roads lead to Doctor Doom and Galactus. So this first part of the leak is pretty straightforward and really awesome. According to Mikey Sutton, the next couple of phases are all going to lead to Doctor Doom and Galactus. They're going to build them up just like they did Thanos in the first 11 years. In the Infinity Saga, none of the movies were really about Thanos until we got to Infinity War and Endgame. He appeared in some post-credit scenes and he appeared briefly in Guardians of the Galaxy. So this is probably what you can expect to see from Doctor Doom and Galactus. They probably won't throw them in movies at first, but you'll get little mentions of them throughout the next phases, and then ultimately they will be introduced. The leak goes on to say, first, neither character will debut on Disney+. Both are large chess pieces in the acquisition of Fox. These are A-list characters that fans and general audiences will flock to see in theaters. To see them finally done correctly, not like in the Fantastic Four, The Rise of the Silver Surfer, where Galactus was, well, a cloud. So he's absolutely right about that. Fans will simply flock to the theaters just to see these characters. And he goes on to say that they are not quirky minor league characters such as She-Hulk and Moon Knight. And that is not any diss towards She-Hulk or Moon Knight, that is just simply how it is. Doctor Doom and Galactus are two of the greatest villains to ever come from Marvel. And the fact that he says that they're not going to appear on a Disney Plus series is honestly really great news. I know that they're doing that with some characters. I know they're going to have them be introduced in a Disney Plus series and could possibly move on to be in a future MCU movie. And there have been recent rumors going around that Doctor Doom could be introduced in a Disney Plus series at first, possibly as a good guy. But then we would eventually see him turn into a villain, becoming Doctor Doom. Now, this is appealing to some people, but Doctor Doom is huge. This isn't just somebody you can casually introduce. Marvel has the right idea. You do have to build him up over time. You have to set him up to be a major villain. Because he is. He's one of the greatest villains of all time. And the same goes for Galactus. You could never introduce Galactus in a Disney Plus series. The first time that you see Galactus in the MCU has to be in a very big movie. So the fact that this report says that we're not going to be seeing them in a Disney Plus series is really good news. Mikey goes on to say that Noah Hawley's Doom movie, as publicly reported, is dead and will not be tweaked as a Disney Plus show. Hawley's script was written for Fox, not for Marvel Studios. His version of Doom was not modeled for the MCU, and that has to mesh with the vision of the upcoming writers and directors for the Fantastic Four movie. Disney spent billions on Fox, and Galactus and Doctor Doom was a part of that reason. Putting Doctor Doom on a Disney Plus series to begin with is like paying U2 to perform at the Hard Rock Cafe. And again, that is absolutely true. It goes back to what I said before, you can't just have them appear randomly. They have to be built up over the years, and when they're introduced, it has to be in a big movie. And the Fantastic Four, obviously, since Doctor Doom is a Fantastic Four villain, is the perfect opportunity to introduce him, especially because all of the fans have been waiting for Marvel to actually do the Fantastic Four and not Fox. His report goes on to say, how do you top Thanos and make it fresh? You double the dosage. Doctor Doom has a tragic human element a la Thanos and Killmonger, the gray bad guy in terms of morality issues. He has the emotional depth that Kevin Feige feasts on. He will be Easter egged until he debuts on the big screen. He is going to have links to other Marvel foes, either politically, mystically, or through business. Both characters are in the embryo stage in terms of MCU development, but the Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, and John Byrne runs on the Fantastic Four will provide the skeleton and soul. Doctor Doom will deliver the theatrical drama. Galactus is power, light, and spectacle. What they'll be leading towards is an epic battle fought on the ground and in space, a Secret Wars if you will. No casting as of yet. I am told Viggo Mortensen has been tossed around as a potential Doctor Doom, but to my knowledge hasn't been approached yet. Again, it's early. This is the plan for the moment. Big baddie? No. Bring on the bad guys. You're flying the ointment, Mikey Sutton. So that is Mikey's report. Let's talk about a really big thing that he said at the end of this report. He said, what they'll be leading towards is an epic battle fought on the ground and in space, a Secret Wars if you will. Now, Secret Wars is something that a lot of people have been very heavily speculating is going to happen within the next couple of phases. Secret Wars would really be the perfect ultimate movie to bring all of the new characters that are going to be in the MCU together on screen. Because pretty much all of the characters that we expect to be in the MCU over the next handful of years are in Secret Wars. The Avengers are in Secret Wars, the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, a bunch of solo heroes. And even though the Beyonder is the one who sets up the battle world, Doctor Doom temporarily steals his powers at some point in time. And it wouldn't really be that hard to throw Galactus in there. In fact, if Marvel really wanted to, they could replace the Beyonder in the storyline with Galactus, which would kind of make sense because the way that this report is described kind of seems like Doctor Doom could end up being the herald for Galactus. And not to mention that when the Russo brothers originally announced that they would be taking a break from directing Marvel movies, they were asked in an interview what it would take to get them to come back to direct another film. And their answer was Secret Wars. Secret Wars would be a really big movie to tackle. You would essentially have more characters in Secret Wars than you had in Avengers Endgame. Just think of all the Avengers and then add the X-Men and the Fantastic Four. So a movie like that has to be done right, and who else is better to do it than the two directors that did such an amazing job bringing all of these characters together in the first place with Infinity War and Endgame. And not to mention that the Russo brothers have recently said that they are sure they'll find something soon that they can work on with Marvel. That could be Secret Wars. And then one final thing with this leak is that it actually lines up with another leak that we got several months ago. What both of the leaks state is that there's going to be a ground war and a cosmic war. Now that is something that has been pretty much guessed for a while. We now have cosmic heroes like Captain Marvel and Thor and the Guardians of the Galaxy, and then we obviously have our heroes back on Earth like Doctor Strange, Wanda and Vision, Black Panther, Spider-Man, so on and so forth. So a battle in the cosmos and a battle on Earth separately are no doubt coming. And according to Mikey Sutton, the main big bad villain for Earth is going to be Doctor Doom, and the main big bad villain that is coming to the cosmos is going to be the one and only Galactus. And this really does make perfect sense because again, they have to top Thanos, and that's going to be insanely hard, but by introducing Doctor Doom and Galactus, that could certainly do the trick. And if we had a Secret Wars Battle World event with all of the characters, the Avengers, the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, all in one movie, that would certainly top Avengers Endgame. So this is by far the most exciting leak that we've heard in a very long time. And again, Mikey has an excellent track record, so let's hope that this comes true and nothing changes with Marvel. But let me know what you think about this. What do you think about Galactus and Doctor Doom being the next two main big bad villains of the MCU? Let me know in the comments down below. And again, if you would like a chance to win a Nintendo Switch, be sure to subscribe to my channel, follow me on Twitter, and click the link in the description down below to enter the giveaway. Also, be sure to check out my personal channel, Culture Captains, if you're into comedy. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.